And we're going to start the night like this. Summer afternoons, the radio was girlfriend and boyfriend, dangling by its bootstraps from the handlebar of my old Schwinn as I pedaled 5 miles out to clear, gray lake, music drifting behind me like rain clouds on the verge of explosion. Radio love. Allison Townsend. Welcome artists and family. You know what it is. Finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone and get comfortable. It's about to go down. Open mic presented by the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You know how we do this because we've been doing this and doing this and doing this well. Welcome to episode 63. We do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube and you would like to join us in the stream, the number's on your screen right now. It is 977-539-856. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Want to know why I say that? Trust and believe. We're going to show you this evening. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we would like to thank the New York State Department of Cultural Affairs and the New York City Council on the Arts for hosting these free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute. Every dollar counts and is very much appreciated. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoom verse. Still and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All the way up in the BX. That's my dude, man. Appreciate you, Ron. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2. Elemen2al.com. So many things going on. Plug in. Tonight's theme. It's the analog world, man. AM, FM. So this is, like I said in the email today, right? It's, the frequency modulations that we used to once listen to on a regular basis. This is how people really got down to get their pertinent information. Usually would come over a radio. So just a trip down to a place that maybe some of us know, maybe some of us don't, but it puts you in a state to really, really write some incredible poems. If your artwork is not on theme this evening, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all of your genius this evening. Next week's theme, coming at y'all. Dress to impress, right? Drip if you will. So this is really about, what does it look like for you to step out, right? What does that entail? Does that be armor? You know what I mean? Would it be clothing? Would it be cloth? I don't know. I'm just saying. You have poetic license, artistic license to do whatever you so choose to do. Here is a look at our upcoming themes. It's going to be a great one. Also coming into Women's History Month. So make sure you show your love. Get ready. Get down. Let's get to the rules this evening so we can get to the artistry. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your poetic performance, artistic performance. As you're preparing yourself to come to the microphone, have your artwork ready. All right. We have people on the list that also want to get down. So have your work ready to rock and roll, because you got 3 minutes to rock, plus a 30-second intro. This evening, maybe a little bit more because we have a bit more space. So tentatively on the 3 minutes this evening. However, this remains the same. We have reached that time of night, folks. This is where the explicit lyricists come to get down. And they may bring about some trash, some really bad trash flashbacks, all right? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure we make it maintain in the vein of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship. Other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. Go around and get cute, man, all the way from the BX, bro. For real. We don't do that around these parts. This is a true call and response space. After these artists get up here and they share a true essence of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy, right? All of that energy with the audience. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. And we're going to make sure it stays that way, all right? So give all that energy to the artists and they will give it back to you in their performance. The sign-up list tonight is closed, right? The guaranteed list tonight is closed. Sign-up begin Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? To sign up, you go to Nuyorican.org. You click on Full Events Calendar. You click on the Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need an Artist-RSVP ticket. It's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list, which don't show up until 24 hours before the show. Also, folks, keep in mind, just because it opens at 8 o'clock, all the tickets may not necessarily be sold out. So if you didn't get one in the evening, definitely still open it up. Try to get in because we are keeping those tickets open if there are tickets available. All right. So continue to plug in up to close to the showtime. All right. If you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging in with the Nuyorican Bowery Slam. That stage is hot, y'all. I'm telling you, that stage goes down. Shout out J Rose. Shout out Luna Rosa. Welcome Queso was in the building. That was dope, man. The open mic was supreme. This cat's incredible. It is a great space. Also, you can check out their replays on YouTube. So plug in. Some heavyweight stuff going on there. Also, Final Fridays is on deck. Shout out Tony McPherson. It's going down. All right. Told y'all, only sharks in these waters. So prepare yourself. Also, the Know Thyself meditation space. Listen, folks, there are still tickets available. Make sure you plug in. It's going to be an incredible space. All right. Plug in. Tonight's list, right? It's going to be an amazing one. As always, geniuses have arrived. There's all my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good people? What's good? Bob is in the building. Matt's here, right? What up, Nikki? Walker is in the building. Haven't seen that cat in a minute. Ike is here. Fantastic to see you. Vincent Price is always in the building. We are grateful. All right, folks. So let's do it. As I'm putting the list in the chat this evening. Let me see. Where's the guy? There he is. So setting us off this evening. This gentleman right here, man. I love when this dude comes through because he's always got the rhymes that always align with the right time. You're about to find out why. The one and only Eddie Foreman in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you, sir. Set it off this evening. Come on.
Thank you, my brother. Like no other words like thunder. Woo! Thank you so much for this wonderful open mic that makes our Thursday night set light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. Hello, my name is Ed Potential, Fantastic. Please, it's time to join my rhyme, thoughtful, sublime. I got one poem, so I won't take too much time. It's called Lyrical Butterflies. Oh, music, what can I say about you? Make me happier than a fist in the deep blue. All music is harmony to our ears. It extinguishes our darkest fears. It leaves us in happy tears. Music can send fire to our hearts or a big warm hug. It can kill the inner traumas or the toxic bugs. Music gives us a safe space. It gives a vibrant room to elevate, concentrate, and meditate with extra grace. Music gives us nostalgia in a more surreal time. It reminds us we are aligned in our physical and mental prime. Music can raise oceans, destroy mountains, and set up volcanoes. It's hard to believe just from listening to a few notes. Music can make you move and groove a billion times. It's deep in our roots, kind of like these rhymes. Music gives us a moment to express ourselves in this ugly yet beautiful world. It can inspire and teach any little boy or girl. Music is art in its own unique and luminous form. To break out our boring dorms, it could be a radiant sun or a chaotic storm. But listen, in order to transform, music is the air we breathe and the food we eat. It's the senses that freeze our bodies and burn our feet. Music is a performance that's happening inside our minds. Actually, it's like poetry. You can feel the energy going up our spines. Music is, wait, don't just take my word for it, but put on your headphones or earbuds and immerse yourselves in the musical blue. Let the notes go through and around you in order to get lost inside your whimsical cocoon. Thank you.
Listen, man. Listen. You got the right one when you start talking about music, man. There is nothing in the world that soothes you like music. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Foreman.
Well, thank you for that, Eddie.
More.
You're very welcome. Woo!
Man, again, when you do what you do, Eddie, it just has a way of brightening up the room, man. It has a way of brightening up the mood too. So I'm thankful that you do what you do and you're committed to it, right? Indeed, that's not a bad title, sir. Lyrical butterfly, I dig it. Music can kill your inner trauma. It does inspire and teach. I just got a video of some little ones doing some, man. It really does. The time really doesn't matter. Good music lasts. Immerse yourself in it, right? That's how you really get what music means, what it is. So I appreciate you for setting us off like that, Eddie. Definitely love it. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, the maestro is here. Listen, this is only one of his many works. Black Calculus, Evaporating Rage. This Pushcart Award nominee continues to come here and share his incredible work. The one and only Mathematics is here. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you, Maestro. Please take it away.
Hey, I've been glad that Thursday has been an open night for me so that I can show up here. I got two pieces, not sure if they're on theme, but this is what I got. First piece, Praise. A beautiful performance. The audience loved it. A curtain call. I love that piece. The audience enjoyed my enjoyment. It's so complex. My fingers play the way Debussy choreographed it. Fingers flying and dancing over keys. A poem written in music. My piano teacher was about the music, not about the pride of a piece well played, not about the joy of moving the audience to tears, not about the praise and appreciation for doing something extraordinary. Mama was so old school that pride and being proud of myself might lead to conceit. The admonishment for loving my performance became discipline against the expression. No, the explosion of emotions that might overflow and drench the first rows. Don't let your head swell so much you can't get out the door. You're going to need a new hat. Your head is so swollen. You ain't all of that, so just calm yourself. Praise became the voice in my victory roar, scoring the last touch in a fencing bout, moving on to the medal round, a stand on the podium. Praise is the voice I speak with. The muse has chosen me to write their words into ether. Next piece. My best weapons. Holstered words, too big for barrels, chambers, and knee-jerk triggers. Otherwise, self-immolation would be my weapon of choice. Fires singe the feathers before being batter dipped and deep fried. Mediocrity become coin of the realm. Bold-faced lie mantras as parrots squawk for grand wizard politicians, dreaming supremacy fantasies. Still got battles to fight against ignorance for the sake of love and reflective thinking. Things our children deserve. Peace.
Yeah, and they deserve to hear your voice, sir, because it's pretty amazing. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mathematics.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Thanks, Norm.
To deserve that.
Really love that memoir of your early piano days, and kind of a treatise of how, we come to harbor the kind of values that give being an artist so much value.
And the discipline it takes to not just master one of those things, because he also mentioned going to the gold medal round because this man is also a fencer. So having these two different disciplines and then be a teacher, like, come on, man, like where are you from? Like, for real. Listen, your work is always written in such a way, man. It breathes in such a way. It's always a delight to hear your work because, he said the audience enjoyed my enjoyment. Like, if people knew how good that feel, they would make that illegal. For the folks who've been on the stage, if they knew what that, listen, they would make that shit illegal. For real. Drench the first rows. Like, I love that, sir. When you giving it all you got, that's exactly what you're doing. And I really, really dig how you wrote that in there. As you said, write their words into ether. And my best weapon, sir, like, mediocrity become still got battles. Like, self-emulation would be my weapon of choice. Man, like, you just do like a fencer does. It just works, man. Thank you for continuing to come through, for continuing to make Thursday night your spot to rock. Truly appreciate you, sir. Truly. All right, coming up next. Listen, when this cat gets up and he's got his instrument, you're gonna find out why I love when this cat comes through. Our week is about to be put into balance by the one and only Joski C in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Joski. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Coming through okay?
Coming through like a rock star, Joski. Let's go.
Okay. I want to offer this for Black History Month. So this song is about two trials that were kind of going on about the same time. The trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, the white teenager who brought an assault weapon to a Black Lives Matter protest and killed someone, and the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery. So it's either called Two Trials or Justice in America. We don't need no more black pastors coming here, said the murderer's lawyer, said the murderer's lawyer. Unholy Trinity, Father, Son, and neighbor, self-appointed posse, hunting a black jogger, tried by posse, citizens arrest, arrested heart, arrested breath. We're watching Justice in America, Justice in America. We're watching Justice in America. Judge say clap your hands for the witness on the stand. He's He's a veteran. He's the defendant's man. Witness the judge say, clap for the witness on the stand. Then look at the defendant, a ruined teen with an AR-15. Tried by a posse, citizens arrest, arrested heart, arrested breath. We're watching justice in America, justice in America. We're watching justice in America. Whips and chains of history, never far behind. They want more and more white bubbas on the jury to acquit with their skin, to acquit with their skin. They want more and more white bubbas on the jury. 11 out of 12 ain't enough for them. Tried by a posse, citizens arrest, arrested heart, arrested breath. We're watching justice in America, justice in America. We're watching justice in America. Whips and chains of history, never far behind. Racist lawyer, biased judge, spouting their supremacist grudge. Bubba jury, ruined teen, black jogger murdered for having a dream. Tried by a posse, citizens arrest, arrested heart, arrested breath. We're watching justice in America, justice in America. We're watching justice in America.
I don't know how he does it, but he always does. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski C. Man.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces of yours, Joski. So many those banner lines, murdered for having a dream. Yep. Justice in America.
Yeah. Yeah, it's heavy stuff. I mean, it's hard not to feel heavy about all of it all the time right now. And I mean, I love that you dedicated that to murdered citizens. And but you know, you do the beautiful music also, and your lyrics are, you know, sharp and well thought out. So it just really all balances beautifully when you do what you do. And I love it.
Absolutely, right? Because listen, and this is why I say he always brings our week into balance, right? Because the Joski key, the Joski chord, like it has its own place in the world, Joski. You know what I mean? There are like all the artists here, but again, your work is just the only work I've ever heard like that. And then you have the nerve to write in lines like you do, right? You see your colleagues jumped on that one too, right? Whips and chains of history, never far behind, right? No more black preachers, said the murderer's lawyer. Come on. Tried by posse, citizens arrest. 11 out of 12, still not enough. Golly, that's just ridiculous. But you're on point, Joski. Thank you for doing what you do, man. Like, You've been rocking with us for years, Joski, and we are truly, truly thankful for what you do and how you do it, sir. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next. Listen, this incredible artist has rocked a few stages now, right? They going up and down the coast now. Watch him, watch him work. Listen, this artist has been on some very heavy stages, rocked it out with us, and continues to come and rock with us. Really, really love when this artist comes through. The one and only Dr. Z Page is in the building. Let these folks know how's life been in Philly so far, and you know where they can find you. Always great to see you. Come on, take it away.
Yeah, thanks. These things are going okay here. Love the new job. Such a smaller city, so I'm able to walk to a lot of these open mics and poetry events, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, still writing. But this one, I wrote a long time ago, maybe almost like a year ago, but I've been like just so swept up in slam that I haven't got a chance to read it. It's two short companion pieces. And it kind of was around the time I was working as a therapist and doing a lot of trauma therapy and working on myself, as you've witnessed here as I've gone through my poetry journey. But how attachment trauma can affect us and our emotive beings as adults. So that was the idea behind it. So the first one's called Survivor. A lonely boy awaits trauma in the hallway outside his bedroom. He shudders with the loud words echoing across hardwood floors that squeak with each step he takes to escape. His abandonment was born here. He controls his surroundings by lining items he prays to on white doilies covering his dresser. Gripping the covers like a coffin lid, he pees himself, terrified to wake up alive, because he's worried he's cursed by his rosary. He is commended a good boy for his silence. Today he's told it's cold resilience, which negates that free will is confined to biology and circumstance. And the second one is called Desperately Numb. My chest is a rippling pool of nothingness, full of darkened sludge and slugs lapping the dregs of dried water from a stalled pump. Breathless voices roar quietly through silenced pipes and disappear into an emptied vacuum. A heart is chained to the muddied floor, drowning lifelessly as lungs burst from inattention. I stuff the void with Valentine's cards and romantic dinners to prevent twirling birds from being engulfed by spring's absence. It is here my legs dangle into love's acid and my dreams detach into daylight. Lives are cast to the wind like pieces of me lost in Poughkeepsie. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, see that's work right there. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dr. Z Page.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful work.
That's sublime. Like, just everything you do is so sublime. It's so powerful, but then also like tonight, just kind of quiet and delivered quietly. But the depth of the words, you know, and the meaning is all there and so tight. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on that tip too. That last piece had such a classic kind of structure and feel to it. You know, it's a kind of timelessness to it, and the way you were able to work all the devices so seamlessly, like you always do. And it's good, you know, to hear some of your work that's not particularly slamalicious, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear stuff
I
that's
mean,
a
we
little,
love the slam for sure, but like
yeah, but
this
it's
was
good
really
to,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to hear something where you're sort of being a bit more contemplative and, um, anyway, I'll just leave it with that. So
Yeah.
we know you have many sides and abilities as a poet, so I'm happy to see you sharing some of those other ways you work here.
Still thinking about the birds engulfed by winter
Mm.
and legs dangling in love's acid.
Mm.
You know what? You see what happens? You get a bunch of artists together, you get a bunch of writers together, and then you write some beautiful, and then they're just like, "Oh my God, you write so beautiful." It's like it's what we do, right? But that's the kind of work, right? Slam, it is a very different type of work that you put in for the stage. But when you were writing those things, yeah, you can definitely feel the shift. But that also shows the work that you put in because you can put on that change like that, right? The first one, I dig how you gave a whole medical perspective on why the poem was written, right? It even adds more to the depth of the work, right? He said he peed himself, terrified to wake up alive. His abandonment was born here. Like, come on, come on. And then the second piece, listen, like I was lost in the slugs lapping up the dregs with the pipe that wasn't working. I got caught right there. I was like, wait a minute, okay. But that what Josie was talking about, right? Engulfed in Spring's absence. Like I really, really dig how you do that. So continue to do what you do. Glad Philly's working for you, and continue to put in the work, both in both spaces, really. All right, let's go. One more, and then we'll go to halftime. Shout out Alan Gary. He wasn't able to make it this evening. All right, so coming up next, this cat did lots of things, but did not come here to tap dance. The one and only Barbara and Gomez in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you, God. Please take it away.
Yeah, what's going on? How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all. It's good to be seen. So I was digging in the crates a little. This poem was written around 2003. It goes a little bit like this. Well, it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam, and it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. I ain't got time to wonder why. Whoopee, I'm gonna die. Come on, all you big strong men. Uncle Sam needs your help again. Got himself in a terrible jam over in a place called Vietnam, and it's 1, 2, 3. A vet's poem to his children. They will tell you this is the last war, the war to end all wars. Don't believe them. War only brings war. They will tell you that it is your duty to protect democracy, but democracy doesn't live here anymore. She left with the buffalo, afraid of being burned like witches at the stake, chased away for prophesizing eternal life. They will say they were ordained by God. Don't believe them. They only think they are gods. Their sons have not seen war, nor the chicken hawks who vote to send my sons away to kill someone they never met that looks like you or me and was also sent to kill like chess pieces on a board. They will bribe you with student loans on the GI Bill and veterans' mortgages. There is no bribe to pay for contamination from spent uranium or Agent Orange or your missing leg. They didn't tell you war is not a video game. Someone really has to die. The next body bags could contain the remains of Americans on this soil, fragmentations of realities. They didn't tell you that your life is expendable, easily traded, so the privileged can drive SUVs while half the planet has no shoes. How many lives per gallon will it take to fill you up? Release the pump. Don't let the blood overflow. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. 5, 6, 7. Well, open up the pearly gates. Well, I ain't got time to wonder why. Whoopee, I'm gonna die.
I don't really, man, I'm telling you, that dude he does that every single time. Unmute yourself, give it up for Baba Ngoma!
Oh, that is powerful.
Well, I kind of like how, because of the song refrain, the whole poem becomes infused with a kind of show tune, uh, a force to it, and makes it, in a way, more pointed, but more accessible. But the way it's delivered, I don't know. I see it as a kind of theatrical a piece because of that. You have so many different ways you package your poems with your voice,
That
and
song was popular during the Vietnam War. It was written by a group called Country Joe and the Fish.
oh, I remember it well. I
Yeah, it was very
remember it well.
popular.
Yeah, back when there was just the radio and you'd hear that all the time,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm more tripped out that a band was named Country Joe and Fish, or that people actually listened to it, or that they made good music. It just, you know what I mean? Again, don't judge a book by its cover. What that master was saying is, man, you do just package it in different ways that just sinks into your spirit in different ways, right? I guess it would be different chakras that you're triggering or activating when you do what you do. But listen, those songs, it almost sounds like cadence, right? But it's just one of those things that, you just hear. It is kind of one of those things that just, again, like cadence, it stays in your brain, right? And you find yourself singing it different ways. It sinks into your bones, really. Democracy don't live here no more. They left with a buffalo. Yeah. The chicken hawks that vote to send my sons away. Now that's, don't let the blood overflow. It has to be people in the know to even know that, that they got it blocked up. So, we have to make sure we continue to do what we do and say the things that we do to enlighten the people coming behind us. I thank you, Baba, for what you do and continuing to share it with us. All right, as I mentioned, folks, we have a lot of space this evening, so we are going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, and I mean that, the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. All the way up in the BX. What's good, Ron? How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling okay. Good to be here with everyone. Yeah, and I actually had the pleasure of seeing and watching Baba Ngoma live in person a few weeks ago in Queens at Creative Expressions New York City's open mic. So I was very happy, to have been with him in person. By the way, very shameless plug, I will be featuring with that same organization in June, online only. I'm not as lucky as Baba Ngoma, but it'll be online in Zoom. More to that, later. But enough about me. Hello, everyone. I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am here with the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, supporting Elemen2al in the background on the tech end, and I also work with our program and operations team, helping all on the operational and program side to to make sure that our programs reach the community in great ways. Even though our cafe is closed for reconstruction at the moment, New York City is taking care of that, and they have promised us that they should be finished and we can reopen by next year. So we're going to hold them to it. But in the meantime, we're going to continue our programs online and offline, offsite at other venues, such as what Elemen2al already mentioned, the Nuyorican Bowery Slam every Monday, 6:30 p.m. doors open, 7 p.m. the show starts. That one is at the Bowery Poetry Club, alternately hosted by Jay Rose and Luna Rosa. And in case you weren't able to see us in person, we do not live stream all Mondays, but at least once or twice a month, such as this Monday, we live stream the second round of the slam on our Instagram page. If you go there and want to see the recording, just go back a few posts to Monday 3 days ago, and you will see the second round of the top 3 who competed and who and the winner, which was Jamal. And talking about the winners, all the winners, if they can make it, get invited to our final Friday slam, last Friday of the month, which is tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. in Midtown Manhattan, the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. Tony McPherson hosts, and Luna, instead of hosting, she will be our DJ there, and I will be there in person supporting on the tech end along with my other program colleagues. So you can get tickets for that at nuyorican.org/FFS at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. We also continue our open mics in person at the Lois Cider Center, 9th Street, which is 6 blocks from where the cafe is located. Somebody's Mama, our 2024 Grand Slam champion, is our new host. She will return March 5th, which is next Wednesday, 6 p.m. at the Lois Cider Center in person. Also in person every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So Preem hosts the Nuyorican open mic at the Lois Cider Center. Also 6 p.m. and those are in-person open mics, but if you miss them, you can watch the live stream on our YouTube channel. You cannot perform online, but you can watch, and I actually wasn't able to work there yesterday. On my commute home, I watched the live stream, so I still felt I was with everyone. So to all the performers yesterday, you were great. And obviously our online open mics continue on Thursdays. As Elemen2al mentioned, if you want to get tickets, we open the Artist-RSVP spots 24 hours prior to that on Wednesday. Some Wednesdays, within 1 to 2 hours, all 20 spots are filled. Some Wednesdays, you can still get there on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon to secure your spot. And if for any reason you weren't able to, just let us know in the Zoom chat that you would like to perform in the good luck round tonight. And just like the Lois Cider open mics, we live stream our online open mics to our YouTube channel. If you're watching from there right now, hello, and we hope to see you either back in one of our future live streams or in Zoom or on our on-person events, which you can find at nuyorican.org/calendar. We have plenty of other programs happening, such as the Slam Workshop with Tony McPherson, such as our upcoming open mics at the International Center of Photography. The Teenage Open Mic returns next month at the P&T Knitwear store. And as Elemen2al mentioned in the beginning, Charlie Vasquez also hosts our Know Thyself meditation and stream of consciousness poetry writing workshops. Those are happening in Zoom every first and third Saturday of the month. So you do not have to be in New York City for that. You can Zoom in from anywhere in the world. Next one is this coming Saturday, March 1st, 12 noon Eastern time. Get your tickets on nuyorican.org/calendar. And if you cannot come to our events, but you still want to help us out, we are a non-for-profit organization. Every donation is tax deductible. You may make your donations online at nuyorican.org/contribute, or you may make them when you order your Artist-RSVP ticket, on Wednesday or Thursday morning for our first day on online open mics. And soon you will also be able to subscribe to our Patreon channel. We are preparing and setting that up right now, so you can consume and watch additional content that is not yet available, but we are making it available, so you can contribute and help us out with that as well. Because even though some of our events are free, not all of them, we do rely on donations and grants and extra funding to make all of our programs available to the community, because we are a non-for-profit organization. On that note, let us go to our next performer, who is also a great supporter on the back end. He knows what I'm talking about. We really appreciate, everything that you help us out with, on the back end. Ike, all the way from the West Coast, which is the beauty of the online open mic, that we are national and international. Welcome back, Ike. You have a little more time today. Our list is a little bit shorter, so we look forward to hearing what you brought today. Everyone, welcome back, Ike Waltz, or as Elemental calls him, the Vincent Price of poetry, which I agree with. Welcome back.
May I share the screen, please?
Yes, you may. Give me 1 second. And you may now go ahead and proceed.
Okay. Well, dear fellow poets, something personal, very personal, I cannot forget. Let me tell you of one incident, well, one of many, that affected my life. And yes, unexpected things are really too, as ancient villages harbor racial incest everywhere. And I feel lonely once I am there. That is, when I have to be there. Guess who comes to church? 1983, after the birth of my daughter Fenya, followed by our lullaby. My daughter born with love in my heart, and that in England, close to London town. Far away, and gossiping spreads in the Black Forest, Mum's God-fearing German village in despair. The words of concern? Who is the father? What? Not married? Is he a black man? Is he Chinese? Is he from the London criminal hood? What did you expect from her? That serves her right, they say. Anyway, she was never any good. Speaking of anyway. One day, when I happened to come by, unaware of what to expect, I was asked to join in church. To show my face, they say. Not sure why. The village was small, the heart. I heard their bitchings over and over again and again. The church was packed, the bells were rung, but nobody sang. All focus on the door, expecting not a bride, but a black man, or is it Chinese, who dared to interrupt white men's superior ways. My daughter in my arms was bored. How did she know? And baby Fenya started to cry. The congregation locked eyes on me. This meant to be black, Chinese, was no one else but a white man, and it turned out to be me. Their pointing fingers got stuck halfway up their rear, ass up. He was already amongst we called the earth. All that time, they now say. He can Mahlzeit sagen like everybody else. Otherwise, he's a bloody outsider with foreign tongue. A murmur full of confusion vibrating that Gothic atmosphere. I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. Suddenly, they knew better all the way. Which neighbor spread the word so wrong? And besides, look at her. The daughter looks actually white. Strangely, there was no coming pastor on site. He was dismissed by the congregation during the cool autumn mist in some sort of a local fit. The elders assured there will be better times at our glorious all-white Christmas night. All followed by prayer and that evangelical warrior song, "A mighty fortress is our God." Oh, what a relief it is. Thank God, Peter and Paul. He's one of us. They shook my hand, they welcomed me, and offered important advice. Please change her name. Fenya is not of Christian origin. Let's not forget, we are Protestants and Christians, white folks, after all. P.S. I'm not who they think, after all. I'm only human, as my mind cannot get past to speak up. And as for my daughter's name, Fenya, which remains my lovely, beautiful Missy, my forever mine. And now, Fenya's and Bach's and our lullaby from 1983.
Oh, du Ausliebe. Durch die Tür. Das ist die Treue da. Durch mal die Tür darf ich draufdrücken.
La la la, la 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 la, la la la. 1 und 1, das machet 2 oder gar 3. Oh, sind wir richtig und gesund in Schwung. Oh, glaub mir, dann wird es viel mit dir. Missi, 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 oh, mein Herz brennt so. Lichter, Lichter leiden, Lichter leuchte froh. Und ich wär so hingeschrieben, gerne do, also Lichterloh, mai, oh, leiden froh. Ich bin auf beide so, dass es mich nicht verbrennt. Eisenhafte, du machst die Äuglein, klipp, klapp, klapp, klipp, auf und zu. Schneller kommt er wieder, schon da geht er wieder. Wo der grüne Jäger halt, wenn er mag. Ein Vöglein klein schwimmt im Bach allein, so fein, weil es hat so seinen Sinn. Die Blümelein blühen in die Wies hinein, so zum Schein. Ach du lieber, lieber, lieber Gott, lieber, 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 guter, böser Gott, mir treu war es für die Säule.
Eine Vögel, komm ich in der Säge, eine Vögel, komm ich.
So, who else knew that Ike was an opera singer? Like, come on, unmute yourself, give it up for Ike. Whoa!
Oh my God, Ike, how wonderful is that, man? Oh.
Yeah, that was such an amazing exercise of what they used to call expanded poetry, where you have your poem, but you really just go way outside the limits of what a poem is on a page and make it into something that has so many other facets to it. It's just marvelously realized in that sense. And it, is basically, at least for me, every poem I see on a page is begging to be expanded or asking you to come up with, ideas of what more can be done with it. But that was such a wonderful way to treat that poem.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Wall Poet put in the chat. It's so creative that it's so funny. We are the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, but it's not just poetry though, and we see it here every Thursday. Our really diverse talents of different styles, different ways, of expressing ourselves. So that was cool. Everyone here, you guys are amazing. It's always great.
Man, I love that piece of music so much. I actually tried to learn to play it on recorder once. And what was amazing to me about that is how the lyrics, the poetry was so well integrated that it was one with the music. Even with all the mood changes and everything, it just kind of blew my mind.
You mean kind of like what you do, Joski?
Hey, I mean, come on, quick draw McGraw out the building. This is what we do, y'all. This is what I say. It's the greatest community in the world, y'all. And I told y'all we were going to show you this evening. And it's just how it goes, folks. When you find yourself in this space, this is how it goes. Listen, Ike, Like, I knew about the classical dancing. I just didn't know that you dabbled in opera like that, sir. That is just, and then having the baby in there, right? Anytime you add your baby to something, it just brings more to it, right? When you can have them doing things with you and what you love to do. Man, how you write, the stories that you tell and how you tell them, sir. From people gossiping in the backyard and them having the audacity to say, please change her name. Please change her name. Like, are you kidding me? And you said her name is Still. So that's, I'm not who they think after all. You know, again, like what you do, man, is so uniquely you, right? You have mastered your storytelling. And it's just incredible, sir. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Make sure you plug in with Ike Waltz, man. Author of Scapote, author of The Ball Raven. More and more to come. This dude's incredible. Thank you for what you do, Ike. All right. Let's keep it going, folks. Coming up next. Anytime the priestess is in the building, you are bound for a blessing. She comes through and she gives all of her work and all of her effort to the blessings that she brings. You're about to find out why. The one and only Oshun Yoyin is in the building. It is always great to see you. Let these folks know where they can find you. Please take it away.
You can find me the usual places: Facebook, Instagram, and I'm gonna hijack a minute here. March is National Women's Month. Hint, hint, hint. Okay, I've thrown my hint. This piece that I'm gonna read, it's old as I don't know what. I'm a photographer. Many of you don't know that, professional photographer, and I was editing some photographs for a exhibit I was doing at MoCADA, the Museum of Contemporary African Diaspora and Art. But I was editing these photographs on Photoshop, and this poem came to me, and I stopped editing photographs and wrote this poem. I read it to my roommate at the time. She said, what the hell did that have to do with editing the photographs? But anyway, y'all can decide that after I do it. It's called Enter Knowing. Enter knowing. Nothing will be the same. Disregard the no trespassing sign posted by your fear. Dispose of your digital monotone. We speak in black and white, but live in shades of gray. Empty convictions collapse on a dull canvas of monochrome realities. We sing in shades of blue, cry watery blue tears, and let our souls forget in the colorless chaos of carelessness. We live, dying in multi-level shades of red that blind us to the violence fed to our spirits, not understanding its complement of green, meaning gratitude and growth. We live in black and white judgments, hide our hypocrisy in our pockets, basements, backyards, any convenient hiding place, any synthetic black hole that doesn't shine truth. We waste time studying false alchemies, lying in pretty purple proverbs that bear no resonance or resemblance to our existence, instead of cultivating character in clear crystal sanctuaries in the waiting recesses of our spiritual depths. We dream in unnatural man-made, digital man-made technicolor. We live in black and white judgments that depress our divinity. Then we cry watery blue tears and wonder why we are so miserable. Enter knowing, nothing will be the same. Disregard the no trespassing sign posted by your fear. Crush the judgments brought about by apprehension. Embrace change on the path of destiny. Swallow nature's paintbrush and exhale colors of joy.
Exhale the colors of joy? Really? Unmute yourself. Give it up. Oh, shoot. Yo, yeah.
That was so beautiful and uplifting. Like I loved that. I love your delivery. I love your words. You know, here's to women,
Thank
here's
you.
to black people. Like, let's celebrate. You know, I really, really enjoyed your work.
Thank you.
You got
We have to
Take your
celebrate all of our
advice.
creativity, though. We all have that divine energy, which is how we express creativity. Divine energy,
Yeah.
we work with it, and we're creative. We all have it.
Yeah. Well, you brought that divine energy tonight for sure.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
doesn't get taught in this culture so much,
Mhm.
that the source of creativity is this unitary source that everybody lives within. Other cultures, that's just something people get from day one when they're growing up. They're taught that.
Right. I
You know,
think that's
that,
right.
I want to take your advice, Ocean and swallow nature's paintbrush.
Mhm.
Goodness, like that was just right. That was just an incredibly vivid line. Um, and just again, this what I love about artists, what I love about poets is because we can take what you may think, right? Again, like the outer limits, right? Do not attempt to adjust your vertical or horizontal. We are in control of your picture, right? And this is what poets do. Yeah, that one's gonna stay with me for a while. Swallow nature's paintbrush. But the digital monotone, right? We live in shades of gray. Studying false alchemy. What? Um, did, did you say pretty purple proverbs? Gosh, just throw in a little alliteration for you. That's just incredible. For you to even have that perspective when editing pictures. But I do understand, right? Because when you're editing pictures, you end up going into pixels, and the deeper and deeper you dig into it, the more perspective you get. So yeah, beautiful. Thank you for what you do and sharing it with us. All right, let's keep it going. Brooklyn in the building. Storytellers in the building. This incredible artist is about to come through with what she does best. Watch, listen, and learn. The one and only Mark Hensey is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
You can find me here. Okay. Our hands programmed, conditioned to bear malice towards its own provision, to lose its magic, to clickbait, false pretenses, and impulsiveness. Shall we reminisce, push buttons, rewind the tape, and press play? A sharp, tangly nostalgia is dangling on the edge of the cliff. Thus, 70s, 80s, 90s, the heyday of cassette, Walkman, and the VHS tapes. Magnetic tape run on batteries until they bleed and break. Consumers prioritize access and convenience over the tangible experience. I rented out VHS tapes and DVDs at a public library. My favorite movie is Boyhood. The song Hero brought me to tears and a runny nose. I yearn for the freedom of becoming, walking forth with full force, brave, relentless, even at presumed angst, gloom, and unpredictability. I reclaim my heroism. Let me live. I have my own path to take. You know not what it takes. Even now, more than ever, I listen to music, mainly on digital streaming services, YouTube to be specific. A quiet room makes me feel claustrophobic. Music widens the space and frees my mind of any false biases. Music for me has been transformative, a soothing melody along my recovery journey, especially following the aftermath of my first full-blown manic episode. I've brought shame onto my family, victim to the blame and finger-pointing game. I've wished to hide and bleed my heart out. My sarcasm rings their alarm. Taking your meds? Deeming me fit for hospitalization. Sia sings, I forgive you. You know not what you have done. She says, I'm still here. Besides having been haunted and tormented, the war has been won. In the basement of my 4-story brick Brooklyn apartment building, I stumbled across a stack of CDs in their original casings. Among them is Mark Anthony's self-titled studio album and a platinum autographed copy of India Ari's Voyage to India. Mark Anthony is a romantic, upholding the ideals of love, an enchantment of blind devotion, a yearning for connection and validation. India Ari is rooted in truth and pragmatism, a quilt of a woman woven into completion. Get It Together resonate most with me, as my bullying lowered my self-esteem, as to India Ari's. Strength, courage, and wisdom was inside of me all along, she sings, and plays an acoustic guitar, her voice, her weapon for good. I feel most like myself in my short, kinky curls, no heels or makeup. In her song, I Am Not My Hair, from a different album, she sings, I am not the skin, I am the soul that lives within. She recounts all the hairstyles and transformations she's had. A press, relaxer, jerry curl, dreadlocks, etc. The only thing constant in the world is change. That's why today I take life as it comes, she sings. Though I hate making plans, I always have reservations. I have gotten further than I could ever imagine. I'm in no rush, for life is a journey, not a destination, she sings. I'm on a boat, flipping over, sinking, and I can't swim, but somehow I make it through. Thank you.
Yo, that's to bring up India Ari, like that's heavy. That's heavy. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Markensia.
Yeah, really, you came across an autographed copy of India Ari. Don't sell that too quickly.
Wow.
Great line for me. My sarcasm rings their alarms. I just identify with that so thoroughly. And I know, you were talking about how it could get you in trouble, but I would urge you never to give up your sarcasm, that's for sure. Thanks again for another wonderful piece. You wove in together a number of things there about, your own transformation and, this theme, this analog theme too. And, like so much of your work, you end up giving us a gift of this example of somebody who is just a natural at being able to stand up and speak out for themselves.
It's so great to listen to, like, our analog world or near analog world, for those of us who did grow up, including myself, so that was another beautiful addition. Thank you, Markensia. Thank you, everyone. It is such a pleasure to listen to today. It's amazing.
Real, when the artists come out and they do what they do, it makes for a great evening. Just this is what Thursday is built on. This is what it's about, folks. Your journey into the analog world was on point, right? The Walkman, the cassettes, right? The clickbait, false pretenses, the magnetic tape on run on batteries, right? Over the tangible experience. That's just the way that you brought that up, right? And how you took people down that path. That told them that story. Said you yearn for the freedom of becoming. I have my own path to take. You know not what it takes. Listen, y'all don't know listen, the music, it just seeming to be an undertone this evening, and I'm so thankful for that, right? And Marquincy, you just kept it going, right? Music widens the space and frees my mind, right? Like, and then you mentioned India Arie. Like, I used to listen to her quite a bit, right? So, and her music was written from a very real place, very poetic, but very real. And so I appreciated her, you know, all of her whole aesthetic, her whole being. It was really great. So for you to take your poem into that realm, really great. I wouldn't say that was an accident that you stumbled upon that box of CDs at all. Definitely was there for you. Thank you for doing what you do. All right, coming up next. Listen, we've heard this incredible artist this evening, his incredible commentary. Listen, this cat's got a few names, right? But you know, I like it to call him our resident Gilgamesh because he just does what he does. The one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Look, let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Well, I am on IG, but if anybody noticed lately, all of a sudden they changed the format of their images. And I really feel fucked over by that. Because, you know, there's like a year's worth of images on there, and now they're all cropped weird. Thanks a lot, IG. Anyway, I kind of did what Ngoma did. I went back and looked at stuff that I wasn't so sure about doing something about the theme of analog, but I thought I would look at poems I wrote back in the analog world. So I want to do two things. The first one's kind of short. The second one's a little longer. And I'll just kind of get into it. And not that these overtly show anything about the theme, but they come from a time untouched by the digital. This has a title, Wish I Could Make My Skin Shut Up. Get my skin. It says co-op, condo. Look at my skin. It says good, credit risk. Look at my skin. It says station wagon. Look at my skin. It says a cab will stop for me anywhere. Look at my skin. It says high income potential. Look at my skin. It says let's play golf. Look at my skin. It says speak English. Look at my skin. It says get on your back, girl. Look at my skin. It says porterhouse steak and Beaujolais wine. Look at my skin. It says vacation. Look at my skin. It says registered voter. Look at my skin. It says what am I doing in this neighborhood? Look at my skin. It says National Rifle Association. Look at my skin. It says airport. Look at my skin. It says aid to Contras. Look at my skin. It says unpaid dues. Look at my skin. It says exclusivity. Look at my skin. It says pipe and cigar. Look at my skin. It says call me sir. Look at my skin. It says 57th Street. Look at my skin. It says who won the game? Look at my skin. It says where's my lawyer? Look at my skin. It says Ellis Island, not Rio Grande. Look at my skin. It says mow the lawn. Look at my skin. It says police. Look at my skin. It says moral superiority. Look at my skin. It says glamour. Look at my skin. It says cocktail. Look at my skin. It says fully entitled. Look at my skin. It says pension plan. Look at my skin. It says jacuzzi. Look at my skin. It says diploma. Look at my skin. It says I'm not a suspect. Look at my skin. It says sacred. Look at my skin. Yeah, I wish I could make my skin shut the fuck up. And the next one, I used to do a lot more of this kind of writing. It's stuff that doesn't really fit the description of a poem. So the format it's in, it's not going to make sense, but this is what it is. Inish, a place to stay. Now offer it understanding. 5. Oh, you mean like having sex with the same person twice? 3. Focused in approach, prejudged conclusions are much safer. Construct a blind distance. 4. A siren goes by, but you can't see what it is because the sun is in your eyes. 2. Wallowing in counterfeit nearness. 5. The result being you have so many faces, you end up living behind your own back. 1. But please be receptive. There isn't all this white and black for you, what might be called a bone. That is precisely what is suggested here, namely, that it is structurally of the subject. It constitutes in it essentially that margin that all thought has avoided, skipped over, circumvented, or denied. However, 5, well, if their money is supposed to be so good, why don't I ever see them fuck their money or eat some of it for lunch? 4, between the underside of the surface and your sun-riven face, the lake is not awed by you. 3, the last thing to worry about is the person who's going to forgive you. 1, to succeed in being sustained by a circle, whether that circle is be diabolical or mathematical. 5, when it is time to vote, I go home, put on Republican buttons, and run headfirst repeatedly into the wall. 3, is this why that great Sansom-like body has been reduced to turning the grinding wheel for the Philistines? 1, is what why? Oh, you mean words. 2, a mill stamping only for continuous shape and mass the light surrounds, not contain. 4, well, if we put enough of our leaders in jail, we'll be okay. 1, an object falls, sounding below you on the floor. 5, asked the biggest rush. Hey, that's the biggest rush. When the spike finds the freeway, and you draw some blood up into the works, when you watch that tiny plume of blood rise in the chamber, when your body comes up to meet the drug in that syringe, just seeing that's the biggest rush, hey, when you feel your body mixing with the drug. 2, this is a test. For the next 30 seconds, God will be sold and eaten. 4, relishing food that lays pallid in a drunken, sleeping mouth. 3, traject, pull the space around an object. 1, una hermana con cabello largo y negro descendiendo a las rodillas. 4, hey, second of all, who elected you my judge? And first off, where is the jury of my peers? 1, more air without a sea that jumps. 2, people sit next to the open windows, put their fingers in their ears not to admit the rancor. The train ride becomes a violent beating, and what it lets you see out the window is the attention paid to the backside of something. 5, officer, why does your badge look so primitive? 3, a man diving assembled by the water's own shadows of disturbance. 4, I neither increase in size nor diminish. Your move. 1, cognac with a splash of orange liqueur. 2, the Christian God can't come back to earth. You want to know why the Christian God can't come back to earth? because he will be accused of having sex with a Jewish girl. 5. Oh, I don't want to argue about life or the flag. Life can't kill me. The flag can't kill me. So talk life out of yourself, okay? Wave that fucking flag in your own face. 2. Open your eyes. 3. Is it morning? 4. The sea changes from blue to indigo to emerald. 5. Well, it's because music is just for playing. 4. You let yourself stop not to make me feel guilty. This is just your feeling. This is just the way you feel about me. 5. And what would these dollars be worth? 2. What are you in for? 5. Well, if you're all going to lie to me, why should I listen to anyone here at all? 3. The woman who sits next to you lets her long hair fall against your naked arm. You smell her Coca-Cola. When she pulls the straw up through the plastic cap, it sounds like someone chokes. 5. Well, I can explain this really clearly to you, so it won't be a mystery why the neighborhood looks this way. What we are doing about drugs is tearing down crack houses to put up moderate income housing for the homeless so that when they work their way up, they can pay taxes to save the school across the street and make sure it will go on turning out recruits for the military, whose ads can display a better standard of living. 2. Mama, why did they make Bojangles slow so far down for that little tiny white girl? 4. Sometimes you don't show any emotion at all. 3. Well, if you don't like me, I guess we're both out of luck, but you're gonna have to remember, I did not elect you either. 1. They lie, one broken moment among the others that might coagulate into something like a newspaper picture, composite of many unnamed traces, black and white, the only friends of steel and stone, a moment not distorted, uncompressed from the way you want it, your moment, preemptive. Circle. 2. You want to show yourself.
I mean, what can you say? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skip.
What an experience.
Of course, I come back in at the end of Paul Skiff's piece.
That's amazing, man. Like always. Good stuff.
I guess I'll have to play like Heinz and catch up.
Wow.
I'm just
I love that last line of your first poem.
Indeed.
Speechless. It's like, damn. And all.
Like everything Paul does is beautiful, and everything he touches is beautiful, and it's amazing.
When you do what you do, sir, it just, again, this is why I call him our resident Gilgamesh. He mentioned it before, doing that research, but he is that. So when you do something like that, and you say, oh, I was digging in the crates, just like Baba was saying, oh, I was digging in the crates and I found something from these years ago. Listen, it still has so much weight. Like the first one, I wish I could make my skin shut up. Like, so many of those, sir. Like, I'm just blown away, right? My skin, look at my skin. It says speak English. It says aid to Contras. Call me sir. Where's my lawyer? Jacuzzi. Listen, sir. And then the way that you deliver it, right? Because you throw in moral superiority. You throw in Ellis Island, not Rio Grande, right? So the fact that you can throw in some of those, and listen, all of it is offensive. Let's keep it 100, right? But then you even got the nerve to throw in some comedy in there. That's what makes it dangerous, sir. Incredible. And the second one, listen, you went from Samson pushing the grinding mill for the Romans to God will be sold and eaten to cognac with a splash of orange liqueur, and then got to Bojangles. Like, I don't know how you, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're putting in the water that they pump into your building, sir, but it has made you incredibly dangerous. Incredible. Thank you for doing what you do, sir, and continuing to share it with us. You're just one of those cats. Thank you. All right. Coming up next, listen, Mrs. Good Luck Brown is in the building. This artist comes through, and listen, at these days, I have no idea what this artist is gonna do, right? Because for a minute I thought I knew it, and then no, she switched it on us, and I have no idea what's gonna happen this evening. But I am thankful that she's here as always. The one and only Elizabeth Horn is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. You almost know something's different because I've been on since 8 and not running around. It's because my husband and children are in Florida till tomorrow night. So I'm like in my house by myself for the first time in 14 years overnight. For real. If the dog barks, I apologize. He's right here. He's, we're going to do this. So, Elemental, I was so pleased that you liked that I did like a dual ekphrastic, that I'd like to do that again. And I've sent Ron the painting. And again, it will be a Frida tribute. There it is. So this is called Self-Portrait, 1930. I mean, many of her paintings were just called Self-Portrait. I mean, many. And then the year. And this is Self-Portrait, 1930. So I'm going to read you volume 1 and volume 2. And then if I have the courage at the end, I'm going to sing a little bit of a Selena mariachi song. Because, I mean, I'm prepping for, eye inspiration and wall poet. So, like, why not, right? Okay, here we go. So this one is called Proyecto para repararme en tres etapas, volumen 1. From 1930. 1. S-spine, not X-spine, chucked. Not good sleeping or baby spine. Chunks of it in the road, not ideal. Streetcars, trolleys, whatever the term. Frida, artist, poet, man, woman, whatever the term. Prodigy, protege, mentor, terms. Debatable who's who. Debatable Debatable which disc is fucked worse. Which mentee broken worse. Of bone or skin when metal meets. Look at what is lost. It's pieces of a human, not of industrialized nations. Oh, the loss. 2. So that done, discussed. I had a finger, a special one. It runs along broken tracks. It glues and binds shattered chips and crunched bones back as sinew might lap itself, as a kitten might run herself along your leg or your crutch. I slide a tongue or finger along the zag, and it doesn't change broken tracks, but it does numb and make forget. And oh, how this lithe bone of love is itching to destruct. 3. Mentor. Make me a mural then. Mentor. Make the black fishes swim. Mentee traces a new spine, a new canvas back of art. All you need are the colors of my blood, the smell of my flowers, and the ocean of woman. Pain. So circumstantial, as the body is tethered to the choices it makes. Not all orgasms need be rational nor physical. And I mean, you may have guessed by now, I'm trying to do this in Frida's voice, which is a bit hubristic of me, but I didn't really know how else to do it that would really give credit to what her art does. And so pretty much in all of these, I'm talking to Diego. When I say you, it's to Diego Rivera. Okay. This one is called Proyecto para Repararme en Tres Etapas, Volumen 2. 1. I dream about the time you might have painted my nipple and my spine aligns, that I might sit straight or recline, arching perfectly at the waist as I saw done by the others. 2. It was all about the angle, your view. 3. And I am not, nor will I ever be, disabled for you. My puppy's being really bad. Mira cómo ando, mi amor, por tu querer. Borracha y apasionada, no más por tu amor. Mira cómo ando, mi bien, muy dada en la borrachera y en la perdición. Tú, solo tú, has llenado el luto mi vida, abriendo una herida en mi corazón. Tú, solo tú, eres causa de todo mi llanto, en mi desencanto y desesperación. Mira cómo ando mi bien por tu querer. Thank you very much. That's my Frida and my Selena in one night. And
Listen,
all the feminist power I can bring you of them both, my heroines.
just doing the things. Like, come on, y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Elizabeth Horrid.
Man, so powerful, so powerful. I love freedom. I'm a big surrealist. It was really my art teacher / special ed teacher who actually got me into surrealism. After reading my signature piece, Life, which a lot of you have heard, some of you have not. That was the first piece I ever did on here last year in September, I believe it was, on the 12th. But man, great job. Great job. I mean,
thank you.
You over here, you got me wanting to switch up what I was planning on performing.
No, don't do that, dude.
I'm going to Detroit. I need this criticism. I need to know what how people might react to this.
Hey, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm up for taking a collection so we can send your husband and kids back to Florida for next week.
I know, right?
You're stupid.
I perform much better when none of them are here. That's for sure.
Well,
and
maybe
I did that with the dog barking behind me. I'm like, shush, I'm trying to sing to the people.
Regular noise.
Yeah,
though.
but
Maybe
you can channel the experience again for next week.
He doesn't mean to be naughty. He's just 10 months old. He's a baby.
Where's the doggy? Let's see the doggy.
Hey,
and the line you had this.
Can you see him?
Yeah. You went off camera.
Not all orgasms are rational and physical. That's another one of those banner lines.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you thinking
Always coming
about
through in the good
channeling
luck
some other
round here.
artists or writers? I mean, you've done Sylvia, you're into, you know,
Well,
Frida.
I've done Sylvia, and Platt. I've done Platt and Frida and Dickinson. I've never read you guys any of my Dickinson stuff
All
yet,
right.
but
Holding out on us.
I
All right.
will. And
Yeah.
I've done some Frost, but those are kind of my three ladies, you know.
Okay. Listen. We are going to be looking forward to whenever your road goes down the Dickinson path, as it does the Plath path, and the Frida path. Listen, when you start singing, that's just something different, right? We have gotten used to hearing your artwork, and then you start singing, and then you have the nerve to sing in Spanish, right? That's what throws me off. I'm like, where, so. But I appreciate your dedication to the notes when you do sing, which also, whichever came first, chicken or egg. I mean, when it comes to how your poetry is, in that same way, right? You're focused on the precision of the notes and the singing. So, just incredible work, right? A Jedi Master said, right? Let's make sure they have somewhere to go every Thursday so you can get down and do what you do. Thank you for what you do and sharing it with us. Truly appreciate you. All right, coming up next, this cat comes through and rocks, man. Shout out to educators in the building. This cat, telling you, man. Look, wherever he's in the car, whether he is going wherever he's doing, this dude's dope, man. Trust. The one and only Wall Poet in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Great to see you. Please take it away.
Always a pleasure to be here. Yeah, I'm always in my car, even if I have a different background. I just like the background. I think it's cool. But yeah, all right. I got two pieces for y'all if it's cool. All right. The first one's called School Lunch. In the third grade, I was one of 5 non-white kids in class. Honestly, I can barely remember my teacher's name, but I do remember the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches my mom made me for lunch. This was a necessity. To me, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were the recipe or key to assimilation, a golden ticket to acceptance, the American dream cut in triangle slices with no crust. My way of eating something American without being made fun of for being different, without being made fun of for being an immigrant. Didn't always love cafeteria food. Unseasoned food splattered on a tray made me nauseous. And what the hell's the sloppy Joe? I cautiously used to sit around the table while kids treated their lunch like Pokemon cards, using them as currency for something better, while kids asked what you eat for dinner last night, hoping they would never get to me, while wondering what they would have thought of the ají de lengua I ate the night before, curious if they would have asked if the cow's fiery tongue licks your face while you eat it. But my favorite was carne asada con arroz, marinated steak resting on a bed of rice while being caressed by onions and tomatoes. Wondering if they knew that I actually loved being Bolivian but was afraid to show it. As I got older, who knew school lunch would come up again? That is until my daughter turned 8 and my wife wanted her to take leftovers. I said she doesn't want to take chicken and rice. Kids want ham and cheese, Capri Sun chips, and chocolate pudding, the cornerstone of an American lunch. Not realizing that maybe my daughter was more involved than me at the same age. Suddenly, my friend's memory of how he brought a bean sandwich to school floated in my head like recyclable plastic, picturing the bean sipping from the bread like an oil spill. Ooh, that's nasty, is what they told him. So he never brought it again. Honestly, it seemed like I could never really fit in, never truly feel like I was a real American. But what does that actually mean? To me, it means watching wrestling with my dad on Saturday mornings with old school salsa blasting in the background, being awestruck as Macho Man Randy Savage lands a flying elbow drop while eating empanadas de queso with powdered sugar on top. It was also rooting for Bolivia at the U.S. World Cup and screaming at the top of my lungs until my voice left my body. See, I didn't learn much until much older. It's possible to be both Latin and American. It's possible to balance both cultures like a circus performer riding a unicycle on top of a wire. It's possible to be proud of my mestizo features and want my children to be raised in the same Northern Virginia neighborhood I grew up in. It's also possible for my English to tower over my Spanish and still be Latin American. And it's definitely possible to eat PB&J sandwiches because it reminds you of elementary school, and eat carne asada con arroz because it reminds you of being Bolivian. Home. I got one more for y'all. So I like that one. All right. This one I think could fit the theme. And it's a music poem. And yeah, people usually like it. It's called Ode to a Song. So I've always wanted to write a poem where I celebrate the musical influences that impacted who I am, truly making me a music head. Back in the day, you might have even called it an ode. But if I did, where would I even start? Well, I guess I would start with hip hop, with the way the rapid paced delivery of language in the form of rhyme to a breakbeat lured me to dive inside of my radio speakers, transforming me to a b-boy at a Bronx house party in the 80s, where Kangol hats and Adidas shoes with no laces congregated daily, reliving hair follicles standing on end when Eric B. and Rakim said, "Pump up the volume." Or the way all New York hip hop artists must have had claustrophobia from living inside of my CD Walkman my entire 10th grade year. And all I need to hear is the Triumph instrumental to turn into Inspector Deck's long lost Bolivian cousin. Dun 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 dun. A bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery. Flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Maybe I could talk about the way conga drums rocked me to sleep as a child while my dad had a gran combo played live out of a gargantuan-sized boombox cassette tape player. Or how at age 6, I stood on my seat at a Ruben Blades concert, clapping along to claves at the close of the show. Or the feeling of elation that rose when my feet finally learned to not bump into each other when learning salsa. Maybe I could talk about the first Nirvana song I learned to play on the acoustic guitar in the 8th grade, the way my fingers bent like clothes hangers as I struggled to strum chords on steel strings when first learning how to play About a Girl. I could also talk about how my 1995 car stereo system from Circuit City provided the soundtrack to everything from 2 a.m. runs to 7-Eleven, all the way to a makeout session or 2 or 3. Perhaps I could elaborate how I listened to Smashing Pumpkins whenever my parents used to argue the way the volume exceeded maximum capacity as plates smashed into porcelain floors, and how I found music to be the greatest form of coping mechanism to face the world that never desired more from me aside of my undivided attention. I could go on about when I started taking writing seriously and everyone suggested I listen to less music and instead read the great poets. But I thought to myself, great poets, then what the hell do you call Tupac, Bob Marley, Nina Simone, Prince, Lauryn Hill, and Nas? Or what about Zach de la Rocha, Juan Luis Guerra, Residente, and Mercedes Sosa? Maybe I would delve into how, as I aged, I learned to appreciate country music and jazz, how a Johnny Cash song lives in the back pockets of my black shirts, or how when I need to relax, I simply visit Herbie Hancock on Cantaloupe Island. To truly make this an authentic ode poem, though, I suppose I'd have to use iambic pentameter or write in a quatrain where each line and rhyme meets perfectly like a line segment in order to form 4 perfect stanzas. Or I would need to speak to the subject of the ode directly. I mean, I could do that, but then where would I start? Thank you so much.
Yo, this cat came through with the business this evening, man. They might give you a ticket for that, man. Your car's on fire, bro. Your car's on fire. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Wall Poet.
Super.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was
Thank
on. That was on.
And Johnny
bravo.
Cash lives
This
in
ain't
the
the good
back
luck round.
pockets of my
This is
black
the winner
pants.
round. Shit. This is we wrapping it up as winners round.
And Johnny Cash lives in the back pockets of my black pants. In your description of what you did on Saturday mornings, hey, I want to hang out at your house, Walter.
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
love
to
the
that.
musical references, man. That show was beautiful. I mean, that's just a sign of so much open-mindedness and depth, within your soul that's interpreted through your music selection, man. It's beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you just got put into the Storytellers Club, sir. Listen, with that, like that school lunch poem. Listen, man, like I really do try not to pick favorite poems from folks. I really do, because all your work is just so phenomenal. But that school lunch poem, hey, man, hey, that he said, what the hell is a sloppy Joe? Before that, one of your other colleagues, you said right after that, American Dream cut into triangle slices. Come on, man. The homie brought a bean sandwich to school and they laughed at him. Like, you don't eat bean sandwiches at home though. You know what I mean? Man. So I just got one question. I'm not judging nobody. It just threw me off so bad. Watching wrestling with Pops, great. Eating empanadas with cheese and powdered sugar, did you say? What the? Okay. I don't know how to take that. I really don't know how to take that. I have to rap about that. I never heard that. And then in the second poem, you said living inside my CD Walkman. And then he starts spitting the triumph. Like, yo, shout out to the Woo, man. Shout out to Shaolin, man. He started spitting that triumph. That was so heavy, man. He went to Nirvana, then Smashing Pumpkins, Johnny Cash. Yo, you dating yourself with that Circuit City. But, yo, good work, man. For real. I appreciate what you do, sir. Keep doing that. For real. They might give you a ticket, though, because, you setting your car on fire every time you spitting in there, man. Appreciate you, sir. All right. So, coming up next, I like to call this cat the captain of the street team because he puts in work. This cat is 10 toes down, for real. President of the Poet Chapter in Wisconsin, in Racine, Wisconsin. This cat always comes to get down. The one and only Inspiration in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you. Come on, Poet. Take it away.
Man, how am I supposed to follow this fucking round? Holy shit, man. You can find me this weekend in Detroit, fucking representing WI, representing Poet to the fullest. I'm so fucking geeked right now, dude. I'm actually getting to meet and greet with my Detroit Poet Chapter family members. We're just all so excited. We're taking the plugs, riding with the wife and I. We're going to Gary, Indiana, picking up Dale the Real Deal. And man, it's just so crazy. Mr. Obbs coming out, Nate the Great. Man, it's just wild. I'm fucking geeked, as you can see. So I have a favor, to ask because this is an important event to me, even though I'm not getting paid. It's just it's more of a meet and greet introduction to my Detroit family. I need to know what y'all think of this different delivery I've been writing these poems piece. The last time I did it here, I did the more theatrical piece, which Elemen2al just almost lost his shit on. It was beautiful. And but then I do want to do my signature piece and basically just my 3-piece set, if that's possible, and get an honest blessing from y'all. I'm just nervous, man. So hence the glasses. I've been working on I'm writing this poem piece for memorization. This is more conversational delivery. I've been writing these poems since before I was a thought in my father's mind. Since God been writing, speaking thoughts into my father's mind, I've been writing these poems with and through God as a vessel until my father took them thoughts, turned them to game and spit game to my mom, and the result was me in the human form. I then became a poet and a fighter so I could keep writing these poems. It all started with an invisible ink powered by thoughts, universal vibrations that etched scriptures upon my soul until I could learn to write in the physical form. I've been writing these poems. 6 months after my birth, I had my first seizure. It was then written into that script of life that it was also meant for me to be a fighter. Because seizures had me feeling like I was sinking. disappearing from the physical form. Like I was blessed enough to have God and Satan fighting over me. If I was just so lucky. If God wins, I would stay here in the human form, and I would fight through him. I would teach through him. If Satan wins, I would leave for hell right away. I won't lie. Sometimes I would lean towards Satan, hoping that the burdens of me would die with me, leave with me. Future poems were to be written in invisible ink and spoken through wires and electrodes, studied through slides of organisms and machines, having me feel like a test tube baby or an animal. See, the activity in my brain, it wasn't normal to them. The beat to my own drum, it wasn't normal to them. They wanted details. Oh, they wanted details about the infrastructures to these poems that I've been writing way before the physical form. I've been writing these poems with invisible ink, leaving stains upon my soul. I've written myself out of overdoses through these poems. I've been resurrected and reborn through these poems. Hell, my first poem that I actually wrote down actually formed in the same day, and I still got put in the friend zone. Man, I've been living these poems. I guess I wrote myself out of shyness and into encouragement and open-mindedness. I told you I've been living these poems, walking, talking, breathing these poems, learning, teaching, feeling, learning and teaching myself all about myself all through these poems. Some of y'all are going to be reading my poems after my death because some of y'all weren't even born yet when I wrote these poems, when I lived these poems. I am these poems. And that's that piece. I have other piece I don't think anyone's heard on here yet. This is a written piece that I'm gonna it's a very personal piece that I was going through some shit with my lady. Kind of, well, y'all give me some feedback. Maybe I haven't really figured out what love is. Or maybe I'm just catching up with what the feeling of love is. Because for so long, I've misguided, I've mistreated, I neglected so many. I attracted so many, the wrong ones, the wrong love. I had to step up and step over. So in between times I stepped on so many. I unfriended so many. A woman wanting to stay friends after the end, that shit didn't make no sense to me. Wanting to still fuck until she found a new one makes sense to me. So that's not a friend to me. That's just good sex and not wanting to hold around to me. Maybe it's so. I haven't really figured out what love is because I haven't let love in. I haven't let love live. I haven't let love win. I'm still learning how to give love back, how to show love back and not just stand in above her back, giving love from her backside. Y'all know I love to give love from her backside, though I know I need to have her side by side so she don't end up with that side guy. I thought I knew what love was until she let me know that I don't give it back. I don't show the love back. When the push turns to shoves and the arguments get loud, when the better goes to worse, when we get stuck in the thick of the shit, it's just so easy for me to shut down, throw my hands up. It's so easy for me to shut down, to give up and expect to die alone in the end. It's just so easy to know that I will die alone in the end. Yes, I have friends, though at times I get lost, I get depressed, I get paranoid and question the means to an end. Because life is like a movie, a docuseries, if you will. Most leave after the credits give, then the credits give, and the critics live for gassing you up or shutting you down until the next movie comes around, until the next hot topic comes to town. So I move about and I give people something to think about and talk about as they move around. Then when they learn too much of me, they see too much of me, get too close to me, I drift away, leave them to wonder what happened at the end. Let them find each other and talk about me then. Maybe they'll laugh. Maybe they'll smile. Maybe they'll order up a whiskey with 3 ice cubes and give a toast. That I'm not above you, I'm not below you, I'm right beside you. And hopefully they'll turn the music up. That sparks up nostalgia for them and I, and for the ones that can handle it. Maybe they'll light up a cigar for me. Reminisce on you and I and all of us. I do this in memory of me, so I don't disappoint before the end. I don't waste your time before the end. I don't want you to be asking, why did I even fuck with them then? I just want to leave you with good memories from then. That way, when the question, what happened? What happened to him at the end? The good memories will always outweigh the bad in the end. And every time from then on out, you'll laugh, you'll smile. And when you think of me, you'll celebrate with others in remembrance of good times. And order up a whiskey with 3 ice cubes or a cylinder and give a toast. I'm not above you, I'm not below you, I'm right beside you. To turn up your music and spark up nostalgia. I do this in memory of me leaving the airport in your mind. I am my inspiration. I am a person of extraordinary talent. I am poet. That's my time.
This dude, I told y'all, this dude, he just puts in the work, y'all. Unmute yourself, give it up for our inspiration.
That's dope, man. Awesome.
Well done.
You are inspiration. Yes, that's no. This is cool. That's I love the way you deliver your poetry. That is so important, and you know you will win over many that haven't heard your poetry yet. So good job.
It wasn't too boisterous. It wasn't too like loud or
stop.
Yeah, I don't know what you're worried about, you know?
Stop.
I'm not so sure what you're worried about, and maybe I might respectfully suggest you're being a little too self-conscious. You just do you. And you know, you're going to some place you maybe haven't been before, and every place has different standards, so you never know what to anticipate. But you can't go there trying to anticipate because you're just going to be double guessing yourself all the time. You just got to go there and do you, you know. CP says it's a little different. He says, I just choose the poem that I'm feeling, you know, that I want to do. And he doesn't try to pay attention to, well, what do I think this audience is going to do, you know? So I didn't hear nothing you had to worry about in that.
I appreciate that. I really haven't, you know, like in the longest time, I don't think I really ever considered that. You know, it's just as I've been considering, you know, and working towards doing this full time in the winter months, planning tours and like getting into slams and stuff like that, and you know, going professional with it, you know, to another level with it, you know, that I've been taking in just so much advice, and I've been learning about the power of my voice, you know, that it's heavy on the baritones, it's already deep, it's hypnotizing, and sometimes my emotions, my screams and shouts, they overpower the listener to a point where they're not hearing my true message, so I mean, it's stuff that just comes from people that that I respect in the in the community, and as friends, and and maybe I'm overthinking it. It's just new to me.
It
It's
just
new advice. It's
just
new.
depends who you want to listen to. You're going to hear that from a whole sector of people constantly because there are just people who find it hard to listen to heavily delivered, what I call confrontational and challenging delivery. And there's just people who will say that the poetry gets drowned out. And, this depends what you want to do. I do know if you're going to be, this is just from my experience and what I've seen happen with other people performing, if you're going to be on stage to do a whole set, one thing I would recommend anybody do is find a way to work in a lot of variation into the sound you're delivering. What people get turned off by is if you hit a certain level and you stay there for 10 or 15 minutes because they won't stay with you for more than 3-4 minutes if you work up to. So you want to look at what inside even a single piece, find the passages where you want to get a little, I'm going to say a little more close to people. And, then you have the passages where you just have to really cut loose and do that very challenging and confrontational delivery. But that's what I would say, Craig. Number one, don't worry so much about how other people are going to take it. Just, feel your poem, let it tell you what to do. But I would also say, work in a lot of sound variation into what you do. That's what keeps it interesting to people, a kind of texture of sound. And I think if you talk to musicians, that's the whole idea of a set.
Yeah.
They have their upbeat, their fast tempo. They have they get into their set and mid set, they want to slow it down and give people a chance to get cheek to cheek, so to speak.
Yeah, that's
Well
the
said, Paul. Just don't become monotonous
Yeah,
in any form.
that's
yeah.
what I had last night. I was at an event and a musician he came up to me and he complimented me on the fact that my memorization, and he also complimented the fact that I was in a hall. I was like in an old old hall. The acoustics were great, so I did more of that conversational type of delivery with a little bit of theatrical, accents, when doing the prompt. I've been writing these poems.
See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Inspiration. What you're doing and how you're doing it. Hold on. Anybody else want to give him some critique about his work?
Yeah, me.
Please, Baba.
One of the things that you do all of the time is all of the work that you talk about is about you. So it makes the audience feel like they're your therapist. So we don't want to hear 20 minutes of your life because you personally aren't that interested and you're not telling a story that's different from anybody else's story. So what you need to do is to find some other subject matter, read some books or something, because we're not your therapist, okay? I know that sounds kind of harsh, but that's what that's
Um,
how I feel.
That's good. That's what he came for, Baba. That's what he asked for, right?
yeah,
Like
that's
that's the
exactly what
real
I
thing,
asked for. Yeah, most
right?
definitely.
So look. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. Thank you all for adding, for coming to the call and really giving him the feedback that you feel that he needs, right? Trust me, man. At any stage of this game, of this work, if you can have three cats who've been doing this longer than all of us can give you that kind of critique. That is work. So thankfully, this is all being recorded. You can go back and actually hear each one of what they just said, right? Here's the thing about it. If you have the confidence The audience doesn't have a choice but to rock with you. If you are doing what an MC does, if you are the master of ceremonies for, like they were saying, for that 3 minutes at a time or 4 minutes at a time, if you rock that time, then they're going to rock with you no matter what you do. But as Baba said, you have to make sure that you're giving them multiple perspectives. As Ike Waltz said, you can't get monotonous in your poems, right? As the Jedi Master said, you just have to have the confidence that your words already have. You working on your performance aspect is great, but now you need to really, really work on your performance aspect, right? Your words, your voice, powerful, man. You just have to work that out with time, right? It's not an easy master. It's really not. What I would suggest you do is record yourself. Just you, right? In your space, record yourself so you can see your tells, so you can see your twitches, so you can see the things that you need to work out, right? We can give you the critiques, but there are kinks that you need to work out, right? With your ego. Thank you, Ike. Ike said, do not get monotonous with your ego, right? Listen, this is again, that's why I love our community, because we can do this, right? These are the things, right? These are the things that make you a better performance poet, a better person on stage, right? A better poet on stage, because it's very different from writing on the page, right? You're going to this place, there are going to be nerves involved. Just make sure you stay dedicated to your work, and it'll all work out. Seriously, it'll all work out, man. I promise you that. All right. Listen, I know it's been a while since we've gotten to this time of the evening, and we have reached the last poet, folks. But we have. All right. So we will get into the good luck round. I mean, the cipher this evening, right? and we will continue to have this discussion, right? But listen, it's been another great night, folks. Honestly, I love how each and every artist brings their artistic license to do some amazing things. And y'all continue to do just that. I can't thank you enough for rocking with us. Steve Romanel and Andres, appreciate y'all for coming through and rocking with us. Listen, it really has just been an amazing night, man. But it's been a while, so I guess I'll share a piece with y'all this evening, just because it's been a while, and everybody's been coming with the music. So I'm gonna just spit this real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here, go to the cipher. Listen, to every poet who came before me, and all those who continue to rock with us, I really can't thank you enough. I really, really can't. You know, I always don't get into this because I'm here for you. I'm here for the community. But this is our last open mic of Black History Month. So figured I'd get down with what I do. Elemental.com is where you can find me. Just with all y'all music themes, here comes another one. This is Jazzonomics. Whew. Back when keys and chords were shields and swords, before war came spilling out of more than horns, pure heron, put needles in veins, 4-4 at a time, call it 8-ball, leave you slump from just a bump, maybe a groove to soothe your ailments from pale-face, belligerent predictions. This was our amplification. Every note bend caused friction. We revolution, engine deep as Laurentian abyss. Dig this. Take some Yardbird, shot a Blakey, chase it with bitches brew, make you so dizzy you Gillespie, bass scale so intricate, spit blackness, call it music. Make radios of melted wax, no syntax necessary when Mingus fingers start singing Ebony and Ivory. Before Jack and Mac took flight, it was coal trains. For miles of sheet music turned street muses for poets and writers and singers and dancers to tempos of essential movements where Kind of Blue shoved horn excuses back down throats of puppets, choking on cannonballs. We, hurricane winds from lungs, strung out on proof these messages don't need words to speak for. Voices stolen in war-torn conflict, call Chicago or Harlem or Watts. From plantation stages to Jim Crow minstrel show, dance, Sambo, dance. For masses with masters holding knowledge hostage while they think royalties make them royalties. So we, Chameleon, Herbie, into Quincy, Kennedy Center honors, call it fusion of blues and hues that howling wolves sing that like revivals in chorus or cadence of omnivores with the carnivore's vocal cords. Sing. I said sing. I mean sang like a Wiz of Oz with a Lena horn blowing. Vaughn, a Sarah, calm an era of turbulent skies where Etta and Ella make it more better. Blow that horn, boy, blow. You gorgeous cab on Callaway, Cotton Club, ring that Ellington. Thelonious, a monk praying for peace of fierce fire. Call it weather report. Breaking news. We headhunters. Sever senseless from incompetence with plenty protest to spare. Without cares for flimsy egos. Leave traces of disdain on slain acts of equality. Miss me with mediocre attempts to sound influenced. Let's count Basie. Chick Corea, player type flavor. Pursuant to coolest cats alive. For we fluent in oppressor. Made it less saxophone, more Fred Hampton with a palindrome, chanting in hell's haunting harmony. Lord, did I live, and evil I did dwell. But we made a hell of a noise to the heavens for our voices that remain silent. Appreciate y'all.
Ooh, and before we get into the cipher, everyone unmute yourself. Give it up for Elemen2al, your host.
Yeah. That was hot, brother.
That's a hit
That was hot.
in and of itself.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
I
So
love
many
the way you
lessons
wove
in
those
that and
names
so
in
many
there.
levels, boss.
Man.
Plus the music history was on. That music history was like boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Hot.
I appreciate y'all, truly.
You need to read more. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Listen, but like I say, y'all, it's not about me, right? Like, this is about y'all. Like, I'm here for the community, right? I love poetry. Y'all know that. I do. And I'm always here for y'all. Really, I'm here for y'all. It's not about me. It's about y'all first and foremost. And I thank all of y'all, all the lines that y'all grab. Like, I'm so thankful for y'all, for real. Like, y'all give me the energy to continue to do what I do. Thank you. Thank you for doing it. Listen, it has been another great night, y'all, right? Listen, continue to take care of yourselves. Please continue to take care of each other. Plug into all things Nuyorican. Listen, so many things coming up, so many events happening. Make sure you plug in. Thank you all for hanging out. Please stay tuned. We're going to have the cipher this evening. We'll end the night like this until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarí. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. Never forget, cowards get buried here, and we reclaim our strength through our fearlessness. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with y'all. Till next week.